Hey besties, it's kind of another stormy day, so I'm not getting a lot done outside and I'm not going to be doing any painting because, frankly, it just takes more time for things to dry and it's just not there. And so, and I'm not ready to get started on doing any more crochet work or on rooting the hair on the dolls yet today. I probably will later today. But I wanted to make a little um, update thing for my friends that are into D&D and role play games and have been giving me uh, questions and wanting some tips for making their own campaigns in their own worlds. All right. This book is world maps. And there's like probably 100 of these maps in here. Okay, at least 50. You have a table of contents that you can label your maps if you want to. I just would copy these off have the printer copy them off for me. This one is town maps, and this one is village maps. Now, again, there's 50 of them, and they can be labeled in the table of contents. There's all kinds of towns and villages. Like I said, I would print these off. There's one of the villages. I would print them off so that I don't destroy my book. Also, I have this book here is a reference book. I started out with Dungeon Master screens from the first book set, the white box, up through, let's see, I did second ed, Dungeon Streams, and then I did the Dungeon Streams for Palladium. Because I can't find a Dungeon Master Stream for Palladium. But they did have one printed in PDF form, so I did that. Then I have the Riff World references, so I can do conversions to Riffs from D&D or other game systems. And a little bit farther on, I start with maps. See, here is a reference to different symbols that are used in making maps. And after a few charts and things, here's one of the maps I made. This one here is for world building. It's from GURPS. This is a flat plane mapping system where you would draw out your continents and what have you on the triangles. And then underneath is all the information about that particular planet. And below that is what planets would be in the solar system along with it. So you have all that set up. And I find GURPS is extremely helpful in doing this, the GURPS book. On the back of that is notes that I made concerning that particular planet. Here we go with one of my dungeon maps that I drew. Now, I'm not a great cartographer. I always like to say that my maps are made by the Gahome Gnomes. Now, the Gahome Gnomes came from years and years and years ago. I read a book series, and there were these gnomes that were such pests that everybody called them go home gnomes, because when you saw one, you'd say, go home gnome. And so that became their official title. But they were really friendly creatures, and in my worlds, they were not really adept at anything, but they would try. Sometimes they drew maps, sometimes they venture into bookbinding, sometimes they did other things. Okay, now here is from the Harmony campaign. I don't know if you can see this real good. Let me bring your phone up close. It's the Harmony universe, and what you see here is Harmony, and these little squiggly lines around the edges of the bubble that is the Harmony universe is the veil or curtain that separates the Harmony universe from other universes. And then you have our universe in the alternate timeline and various other ones surrounding it. Here's a town that I did. Illusion Town, which is the name of actually one of the books in the Harmony series, is about Illusion Town. There's a couple of the islands that are real prominent in the stories. Jane Ann Krentz had such a beautiful, beautiful planet called Harmony, and I just loved everything about it, and I especially loved the dust bunnies. And so that was why I ended up doing a campaign based on Harmony. Now, here we go, is again one of those islands, and this time I did it in color. This would have been put on the map, would have been put in the middle of the table so everybody could see where they were at, what they were doing, as we were plotting out the travels of the characters. Your maps don't have to be terribly involved. I mean, they don't have to be real pretty. Mine aren't. Mine are just very functional. And like I said, they're made by Gahom gnomes because I'm not a great cartographer. But now this one here is just one that was copied and printed off on the printer, and was one of the boss level battles that we had. So you don't have to have a lot of maps when you're gaming. You do complete theater of the mind. The DM, you might want to have a map of the dungeons or of the town just for your own personal reference as you're talking to people and describing what's going on. But you don't have to have a great big one put out in the middle for the players to see. Unless you want to have the dungeon where they're the area where they're fighting, put that out and have them, have miniatures set there, and they're going to be, rolling their dice and doing their battles from there. Making maps is fun. It's not necessarily, like I said, I'm not a great cartographer. I'm not super precise on things like I should be. And but it's fun. Oh, my hair's looking so good. I just took a shower earlier, and so some of the dye has washed out, and it's, you know, lost a little bit of the color. But that's okay because it's still brown, and it still looks good. And I can tell that the dye had a lot of trouble dealing with this white stuff that's on top. But it's okay. I will talk to you guys later. I hope y'all have a great day and be kind to each other, because kindness is one of the most powerful things that we can do in a world that's full of violence and cruelty. To just show love instead of hatred. Love y'all. Bye-bye.